Hello everyone, my name is Enzo Macarone and this is Pop Culture. I'm here to show you what I have bought these last 2 months because I forgot to upload the video for November, so now I'm going to talk about November plus December together. First I'm going to show you what I bought from my preferred shop from Buenos Aires. They sent it to me with no cost. They gave me this poster, so now I have some scenography behind me. So the first thing I bought is the continuation to a series of mangas that I found to be very, let's say, funny in a very heartwarming way. They are related to school, being in love, and it's a little bit of slice of life, comedy. It has to do a lot with cringe, with getting yourself in messy situations with no need because you are always imagining things. I'm talking about Ichigo 100%. So I have finally bought number 3, number 4, and number 5. I really like this cover because it's very representative of the whole series because it's talking about Ichigo that are strawberries, and there in the back we have Manaka that is always desperate to see those beautiful strawberries in women's underwear. So I have only read number 3. I'm continuing this series and now I have to read number 4 and 5. Then I bought number 1 and number 2 of this series. I only had number 2 to show because a friend of mine borrowed number 1 to read it. Shushu Hakusho from Yoshihiro Togashi. So this is a very classic series. It was very popular in Argentina when the anime came out. The manga wasn't anything like I was expecting it to be. I thought it was a man who had to hunt monsters or phantasms or demons or something like that. But it started as a slice of life, a comedy with supernatural elements. I think it's very original the way they show heaven and hell and the limbo. I really like the characters. I think that Yusuke it's very funny. He has a good heart, but he has he manages himself by intuition, by anger, and acting before thinking. And I think it's very interesting this dynamic where he has to be good, but he has a lot of impulses. The spiritual world is trying to help him to become a better person, and he wants to be a better person to stay on earth, to stay alive, and to get to know and get together with his love, although he doesn't want to admit that. So, two series that are mostly comedy, slice of life. This with a little bit more of spicy drawings and situations, and this one very innocent, very I don't know. I really like the style. It's very heartwarming. And then I was tempted by my evil side, and I bought this beauty. Look at this cover. Isn't it interesting? I'm going to make a full review of this manga that is very spicy on my Patreon for you that want to see it without censorship. What I can tell you is that the manga written by Iku Sakaguchi and drawn by Shiro Iwasawa. It's about a girl that is very shy and very kind to others. She transforms into 3 different people by her training that she had when she was a little girl. And there is this boy, I think it's a very heartwarming personality that he has. He's very likable. Also, he has a sense of justice that is very funny because it's based on a kind of Power Rangers TV series. And I think the dynamic is very fun. So all in all, these were all my purchases from the best comic book store in the world, La Revistería from Buenos Aires. But well, then I was able to go to Neuquén because now we have less restrictions with, the little bug that is going and infecting people. And so now I was able to go and to be very calm and relaxed in the store and be able to watch everything that there is. And I was able to pick some mangas to buy and to enjoy. So now I'm going to show you what I have bought. First of all, there is this tankobon, this number that is very, very big and very, very colorful. That is number 1 from Made in Abyss. My friend told me this was a good series that had a very childish style of drawing that was very deceiving because the story is very mature and it's not for kids, or it has a lot of content that is meant to adults. So what I can say is that I love this tankobon, this edition, because it's very, very big. You can enjoy the drawings very much, and it has quite a lot of pages in full color. So it really catches your eye. And the style of drawing is very, very unique, very caricaturesque. I really love the amount of detail and the amount of color that you can have in the first pages. And also the story for me is very interesting. It's about these people that live in a hole that seems to have no bottom, and they develop a society around that hole. And they take the resources from the inside of this abyss. So that was Made in Abyss. I haven't read it yet, so when I finish reading this first number, I'm going to make a first impressions as I did with Knights of Sidonia and other series. Then I bought something that to me is very risky because I'm not accustomed to read this type of manga, and it is Oyasumi Pum Pum from Inyo Asano. I have been recommended Inyo Asano for a long time. I don't know what there is with this author. My girlfriend read it and it said it was very, very good. It was very interesting, very different to anything that she had read. So I'm very curious to see what this is about. And take a look at this cover. This cover is very enigmatic, and when you open it, you have this strange as hell character that is like a chicken, a poorly drawn chicken, that it's a main character in the story, and I can't understand what the story will be about. So I'm very curious. When I finish reading it, I'm going to make a review of this. Then I have something that I wanted to read because I saw the movie first, and I know I'm terrible, but I thought the movie was very interesting, very different from everything that I had seen in Japan. It was in that time that a lot of us were interested in zombies and story with zombies, and now I have this first number of I Am a Hero. To me, this story will be interesting because, of course, this man is everything but the usual superhero or hero that we see in movies, that is like Bruce Willis and will kill everything that stands in front of him. This is a very normal man that knows how to shoot and is going to use his skill to survive in this apocalypse. Well, then I'm gonna keep with this series because to me it's very interesting. It reminds me a little bit of Berserk. I'm not able to continue Berserk because I have seen all the animes and the movies. I have to wait for them to get to number 13 or 14 or something like that. So I had to wait that the edition starts with that part with an arc that I haven't seen, so then I can go on with the story reading the manga to get to know how the story goes on. I have to wait. I don't have any other option. But this is very interesting and it has some stuff that are very similar. It is very gory, it has a lot of nudity, so this is going to be included also in my full review without censorship on my Patreon. So I'm gonna keep reading this manga, Goblin Slayer. This is number 3. I really like the character. I really like how he relates with people. It reminds me a little bit of the Mandalorian, of those type of characters that are very stoic, that they don't get nervous, they have nerves of steel, that seem to be able to face anything. I like those type of characters, and nowadays we don't see them very much, and that's why I like the Mandalorian a lot, because you have those type of characters. So Goblin Slayer, very interesting. I'm gonna keep reading it, and then I have this comedy, sci-fi, action manga, very bizarre manga from Hiroya Oku. I think it's worth keep reading it. I know it has been very criticized. I don't care if you don't like my opinion. You can go and not buy it. But I think I'm gonna keep reading this because I really like the drawings. It has a lot of spicy content that I like, and I think it's very funny in moments. And maybe then, for some captures that I have seen, is going to get a little bit more actiony. So I'm really willing to keep reading this manga. And take a look at these drawings. And I think the story is going to keep getting more and more bizarre. So I'm going to show you that. So those were all the mangas that I have bought. Let me show you all of them together. This was the order from La Revistería, and these were the ones that I bought on the stores from Rio Negro and Neuquén. So if I put them all together, it's something like this. So 10 mangas, 5 and 5 each month. I think it can't be considered an addiction yet. Let's hope. So that was all for today. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for the subscriptions. Leave a like so you can help me to get more recommended. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Goodbye.